Good morning. Here we are on our fourth day in a row of, well, maybe the sun's going to come out today. So the garden is pretty waterlogged. And as you can see, I'm having to protect everything from critters. This thing shocks things and it was actually completely pulled out. But I don't think, this damage is from the other day. I don't think anything got in here this time because I had it weighted down. But I've got new net I'm gonna put over everything. It's whatever is ravaging my garden this year is making me really crazy. And they're getting desperate because they're going after the beet leaves now. And I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. So my tactic is definitely mesh during overnight time. But these guys are getting bigger in here. These are still okay because I've got these cages around the Lesia, which you can see they're putting on some growth in there, which is good. I've got a few sunflowers that are still growing, some that have been nipped off, one that has been nipped off. Whatever is chewing stuff doesn't seem to want the kale anyway, nor the carrots. So it's an interesting year as far as the garden goes, but clearly everything is growing. My little eggplant from seed are finally starting to put some growth on in here, but they're kind of overtaken by these beans. So I've got to get this up and maybe thin a little so that the eggplant have more space. Cucumbers are slow. I even put some extra seed in there. I think my tactic going forward is to direct sow the squash and the cucumbers because they just seem to do better that way. Still starting the tomatoes, peppers, eggplant inside. This is previous damage here. I don't know. These things they're just like, it's an interesting year. I'm waiting for the raspberries to start ripening. I have been picking mulberries. I had a nice little bowl full of mulberries this morning. Borage is blooming nicely. Let's see. Whatever these critters are, just, I swear to God. It's just like, what the fuck? Anyway, that's life in urban forest, I guess. Out here, the jalapenos are finally getting some growth on them. These are a bush butternut, I believe, out here. My Tromboncino have not done as well. There's one that's coming up that I direct sowed, much better than the ones that I tried to start inside. Out here, my black hollyhock is blooming nicely. I'm happy about that. The dill are kind of going crazy out here, this patch of dill. The poppies are, I don't know what's going on with the poppies this year. Other years, the plants have been more robust. So I think I need to do something over the winter. Honestly, the poppies in the past that I have started just by dropping the seed in the year before, the plants have been better. I think the deer were here for some of the blossoms on the daylily. Can I help you? Can I help you here? There you go. They're pretty anyway. I just wish they were bigger. because that would mean the seed pods would be bigger. The apothecary rose is done for this year, but I'm keeping it covered up just because I don't want the deer eating it. Over here, the Tajit's Lucida is doing pretty well. There's another one further over there that I got like on sale. I've got some Dyer's Coreopsis that's putting on some stalks there, I think. More hollyhock here. I was just harvesting some mugwort and some comfrey to do an infused oil. What else have I got to show you? This sunflower is doing nice. It just kind of came up in that bed. I've been cutting back some of the foxglove and just chopping them up and letting them go back in the garden where the blooms are all faded. Motherworts blooming very nicely here. The valerian is about done. Yeah, so far my main issue in the garden this year are critters, whatever they are. So I guess I just have to protect stuff. Next year, I wouldn't mind if I could scrape the funds together to do actual wooden posts, maybe like 7 feet, and wire all the way down to the bottom. That doesn't mean things won't get in there, but it might help. Lots of blossoms on the pomegranate, which is cool. And just keeping this clean underneath the stone fruit trees. I need to feed them a little bit. Here's all my tomatoes I never got in. These guys are doing okay. The tomatoes in the grow bags. I have some liquid comfrey tea that's been rotting, fermenting in a 5-gallon pot. That 5-gallon pot that's in there that I need to, I think it's about ready to strain and then dilute and put on the different plants that seem to need it. Here's the persimmon. We still have some persimmons hanging on there, so we'll see how that goes. I've got a couple of, these are poblano chilies in here. They've been getting chewed by something that, yeah, whatever. And I've got some, I forgot that I put in some kind of morning glories here, so those I hope to grow up this post. Got some echinacea getting ready to bloom. You can see the deer were eating this elder, but there's lots of elder. That's fine, whatever. And over here is where I planted Nanking cherry. I've got 2 Nanking cherry here and here, and 1 blueberry. There were lots of worms in here because it's just been covered up with like leaves and whatnot, debris for years. And then there were some kind of pretty much broken down wood chips on top of here as well. So when I was pulling out the English ivy and the Virginia creeper and the greenbrier, they were really stuck in there because they were underneath these layers, but there were lots of worms, so that's good. Oh God, I need some sunshine. This lack of sunshine is, especially when I've got critter damage out there, it really kind of bums me out. Serviceberry, growing. This is another new rhubarb. Hopefully it'll do okay. This wineberry is fantastic. When I went up to Edible Landscaping with a couple friends, we went to a trailhead by a reservoir. I think it was called Mormon's Creek or something. Anyway, there were wineberries all over in there, which they're not native and they're invasive, but apparently the berries are really good. So there was a few cantaloupe in here. I don't know how they're gonna do. The hazelnut's looking better. I think it's finally over its transplant shock. And there's random crap in here I need to get out. I gotta move these guys over to there. In here, I want to start transplanting a bunch of different hostas, I think, shade stuff. And there are all my logs that are inoculated. Those are the shiitakes and those are the blue oysters. And we've got some self-sown, if you will, ferns right in there. And I would like to get this all to be ferns and hostas, just because it's mostly shade right there. And other than that, not too much going on. I did get some people to come in and get the English ivy away from the fence, but there's still a lot of ivy and invasives in there. It's gonna be like forever. I don't know. It's a little bit difficult this year for a variety of reasons. We've got the native persimmon here, or the American persimmon, and there's some little blossoms on it. It did set fruit last year, but they didn't stay on. And then I gotta get all this lily of the valley out of here too. There's my one little stalk of blue cohosh that comes up every year. And there's the black cohosh. Clearly the deer have been back here eating hostas. Here's my mayapple, which I would like to get all of the daylily and whatnot out of here so the mayapple can spread. And then here's the little golden seal. It at least has more than one leaf this year, which is something, I guess. And back here, nothing terribly new and interesting. Obviously, the hellebores are faded. I've used up all my leaf pile from there. That one's still settling in. Here's the pawpaw. The tree itself is looking good. No blossoms yet, but that's okay. You can see the deer have eaten that hosta as well. These critters, I tell you what. And I think that is about it. I was trimming off this. I know, it's a terrible haircut. This poor camellia. It will revive, but it really needed to get cut back. And there's the mulberry. It's so funny, there's so many different sizes of berry on there. I have some about as big as my, the first digit of my thumb, and some that are just like my little fingernail on there. But that's okay. Got those branches going way up. This guy may come out. This is a dog rose. It's just not doing great here. And there's all that nettle in there that someday probably will come out. The muscadine is going everywhere. And here's the the Buddha's hand, but I don't think any of these, well, it did, yeah, that one fell off. I don't think these are probably gonna bloom. Anyway, that's about it. Little garden check-in. I'm hoping we get some sun again. The good news is that it's been cool, but in about a week, I think we're supposed to be getting up to the upper 80s again, maybe 90, but I think we've been in the upper 60s and low 70s for a number of days now, which has been nice, but we need some sunshine. So hope you're all doing well. Bye.